Facebook
How's that?
friends.
Sound
Yep,
better?
perfect. Just make sure you do speak into it, though, because if you turn away and look towards her, we can't hear you.
All right, so I'll do this. Say, hey.
And you can also grab the mic and move it
just
with
like-
you.
Yeah, so I just go to this side. Hey,
Okay.
Facebook friends, just want to let you guys know we're getting started here, doing a sound check. I'm right here. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Yep, you're loud and clear, Colleen.
Okay, thanks.
I just need the air date for this, and we're doing the 3 segments?
Yeah, the air date, yes, 3 segments. Air date is July 24th.
July 24th. That is this Wednesday.
It is at 10 a.m. And has Erin called in yet?
I believe so. Give
Okay,
me 1
great.
second. Let me check real quick.
Okay. She'll be coming in the second segment. Hey, Facebook. So we're going live and giving you guys a sneak peek a couple days earlier. This is my friend Lorenzo. I'd love everyone to say hi to him.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you today.
Mr. Lorenzo Hickey is my guest co-host, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his story. So I'll open the show, like you guys all know, and then we'll bring Lorenzo in so you guys can enjoy the video today. But this is a sneak peek because this podcast doesn't actually go live until Wednesday at 10
like
a.m.
that. Like that.
I know. So
I know.
you guys get it first up there at Lead Up for Women on Facebook.
Outstanding.
Get started here in just a second. Normally there's music. We hear music that leads in, then we hear music that goes
Oh,
out,
nice. All right.
back into break. But today we're not going to hear all the commercials and stuff because we're pre-recording. And you've got water. I brought you in a water.
do. Thank you so
You've
much.
got that. And I think that's it. Let's see. I'm going to check Facebook to make sure we're live.
All right, give me 1 second. I got Aaron here. Aaron, can you count backwards from 5 for me?
5.
Oh, we lost her. Totally.
Go ahead again, Aaron. Do it for me one more time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty. It sounds a little fuzzy. It might be the connection. What's the phone number you're calling me on?
I'm calling. The phone number is 314-223-0000.
One more time, just a little bit slower.
314
Yep.
223 0000.
Hope we're not broadcasting your number out today, are we?
I know.
We're good. All right. Want to keep that private.
Yeah.
No, I was speaking with the other gentleman about taking my headset off so you can see how I sound without a headset.
Let's try that. Let's try that real quick before I call you back.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here I am at my phone without a headset.
Way better.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I get Absolutely. And
Hi,
you
Aaron.
sound lovely, so that's great.
Hi.
You want to come across
And he
that
can
way.
see a photo. This is Lorenzo that you're talking to. He's joining me today in the studio, and he has a photo of you in front of him, so he knows exactly what you
Hello,
look like.
Lorenzo. Excellent.
Hello, hello. I guess it's good afternoon to you, huh?
Right.
Good afternoon.
Are you in Ohio yet? Are you in Columbus?
I'm not. No. I want to talk with you kind of about what plans are, but
Got it.
I'll be there on Wednesday through Friday,
Great.
so we shall see.
Robert, this is Lorenzo. We're on Facebook Live, so you can just say hi. We're running Facebook Live today, and yeah. No, we are for Facebook Live, but we're not going on the air. Remember, we're just pre-recording. So we're just talking to Erin because she just got here.
Alrighty. Well, everyone sounds good. Everything looks good. I am ready whenever you are.
All right, I'll get started. Thanks so much.
Yep. How's Aaron sounding to you? Is it just a little bit too loud, or is it perfect?
No, she sounds great.
Yeah, it's good to me.
So it's 12:06, and we're going to go 16 minutes, right?
Yep.
Okay. So at 22 is when we're cutting.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds great.
Alrighty, let's do this then. Our first segment here, everyone, will be 16 minutes. We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Hello, listeners, and welcome this week to Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. I'm your host, Colleen Biggs, and I am joined by a very special co-host today, Mr. Lorenzo Hickey. Please say hello to our listeners.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to meet you. This is a great opportunity to talk to women and lead up.
Yeah, so we're so glad you're here, and I can tell you that we've only had one other male on the show. and the other male that I had on the show.
Wow.
So we have a male photographer, which is my husband. He's our videographer and photographer that follows us around the nation for our luncheons and comes into the studio, captures all these great moments. And then my partner, David Corson, he was on the phone with us a few weeks back, well, probably like a month ago. Everyone got to meet him. He talked about his story, why he is involved in Lead Up for Women and how men, moving forward, how they should be supporting women. And then you and I met just a little over, has it been a little over a month ago?
Just about a month ago.
About a month ago.
A little mastermind work.
At a mastermind retreat. And Lorenzo is like, oh, I'd love to be on your show because I support women and, I'm like number one up there supporting. And I was like, great. I would love to have you on the show because I was like, well, I haven't had any males on the show, but you were my first. So it's so great to have you here.
Thank you. I'm incredibly honored and very pleased to be here. And I'll speak more to some of the in sort of reasons I'm here and how I got here. So, terrific.
Well, I'm just going to have our listeners, I'm going to talk with them real quick and just get them caught up. We want to say hi to our Facebook friends that are out there. Our Facebook friends are always joining us. And if you're not a member of our Facebook page, please go out to Lead Up for Women and click on liking our page and follow us. We've got so many listeners already, and we're so happy that we've got that. And also to listen to this podcast, all you do is jump over to Voice America Empowerment Channel, look up Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. You can find us out there. But we have some really exciting events coming up, and the events that we have coming up are July 25th. We have the Columbus, Ohio Luncheon, and that's going to be at the Kitchen. It's this beautiful small little restaurant. And in our second segment today, we have Erin Joy, the founder of the Black Dress Circle. She does roundtable think tanks for CEOs, and I love that because as an entrepreneur myself, you really need another batch of entrepreneurs to bounce ideas off of. You would know that, right, Lorenzo? Yeah.
Excited to talk to Erin.
Yeah. So we are all going to learn a lot from her, and she's also going to be at our luncheon as one of our featured speakers. And generally, we do a little we vary at our luncheons how we run the speakers, and we generally do a panel of about 3 to 4 speakers. But in this case, Erin and I, we've put her on our Thrive Thursday newsletter, and we've featured her out there, and we've spoken on the phone several times. And I really feel like she has so much to offer as just a single speaker, and we're in a very intimate setting.
Perfect.
In this little room,
awesome.
This room that we can only hold 30 people in the entire room. And most of our luncheons are anywhere from 25 to 45. And I've found that the smaller gatherings are a little bit more intimate.
That's just terrific. Yeah.
So if we have a total of 15 to 20 at this one, it will be absolutely perfect for who's speaking and how we can run that. And we could run it a little different, like a think tank.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, and we're going to be talking to her soon. And we also have one coming up in Nashville. Now, we have it posted on the 20th. We may have to change that date. It's on a Tuesday, so just to let all of our listeners know that we may be moving that to Monday, and I wanted to throw that out there. But we will, of course, send a newsletter out. So if you don't already get our newsletter, please go to leadupforwomen.com. It'll pop up on the front page. You just put your email address in and say submit. You can also go look around on our Facebook page. All of our events are under events. All of our previous events and all of the videos for the luncheons are also out there under events. It's just it's a great website and resource for information.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in addition to that, we're a membership. So we gather women with expertise to be able to help every woman out there be able to collaborate, market themselves, market to each other. And we have the radio as a platform. We have the magazine as a platform. We have the newsletter. And also the website is sponsorship platforms. So we have so many platforms to allow women to have their story heard and for their voice to be heard. And that's what it's about.
That's terrific.
Lifting
That's
up women.
terrific. Yeah. And I know I'm supposed to butt in here, but just love to honor you. I mean, the energy that you put forth and opportunities. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, Lorenzo, the floor is now yours. I want to turn it over to you so the listeners can get to know you a little bit better. And so I would love to get some photos out there of you too. So, well, we have your bio and everything on the on the Empowerment Channel and Voice America. So anytime that stays up there forever, they can click on you. They can go to your website, learn a little bit more about you and engage with you that way. But please tell the listeners a little bit about you and your history and a little bit about your story.
Well, I'll speak to the one thing that's sort of the elephant in the room is why am I the guy that's here, right?
Why
what
are
makes
you
this
the
I am
guy? Why did I pick you,
Yeah,
Lorenzo?
so I'm going to just start with three simple things. One is I am a father of three women, three wonderful young ladies that are giving back already. They're all in their 20s and married and doing what they need to do. But the ability to support and nurture my children through my lifetime was a joy and a pleasure and an opportunity. And I realized that as any parent, all of you out there that have children, you know this, the responsibility that comes with parenting is not just because I want a child, it's because I want to serve them and love them differently. So I've spent my entire lifetime loving on my children, so much so that I started one of my businesses so I could stay home in their junior high and teen years, take them to sports and take them to things. So number one, I'm here because I serve my children and I love them. But equally not less important is that I have a wonderful role model, my mother. And she was terrific in how she showed up for me in times of need, in times of challenges. And believe me, folks, I've had a lot of those. And that's part of this journey and part of this story. And so the net of it is I realized that as I grew into my opportunities and looked to start businesses and I became an entrepreneur, I realized that I'm here to serve both humanity but also specifically women. And that's what you and I connected on when we met at the Mastermind, is that I've actually done some work in intuitive work and some astrological work. And in those readings, it said, you are here to build community, you're here to make a difference, and you're here to help women. And so I said, all right, that's great. So now I started that journey and we started Shapeshift World. And so the goal with Shapeshift World was to help individuals of all types, all races, all colors be inclusive, but it was also to basically help them build their business. Because 3 out of 5 businesses will fail, 50% of businesses will fail in 3 to 5 years. So if I'm here to help serve, the reality is how do we help serve is we help people into business, right? And last, before I let you kind of talk to other thoughts, questions is, look, folks, at the end of the day, what makes a difference is you care. And so when we put our heart, this is the first business that I've ever started that is solely purposed to help make money for charity. So part of that story, and I'm going to get back to it in a second because I don't want to tear up right in the first 5 minutes, is my daughter was diagnosed with cancer. So I want to come back to that.
Okay, so when I met Lorenzo, he told me his story about his daughters and his mother, and I think that we've answered it for the listeners of why you, because of a lot of what you do, and I do want the listeners to know you and I had the privilege of going to the Wishman premiere, right? Which for those of you that haven't seen that, I don't even know if it's still playing anymore, but I'm sure it'll be able to be streamed and downloaded, after the showing. But that all goes back to Frank, who started the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And that was, he was there, and it was amazing to meet the actors and actresses that were in the show, the movie.
Absolutely, it was terrific.
But you had the opportunity to also meet Frank and have a conversation with him based on, why he had started the Make-A-Wish and how the Make-A-Wish had changed your life. So if you want to share with our listeners through the hardship that you went through, how that changed, how that organization, and I'm sure that plays a part in how you're moving forward with your current organization, how that impacted you during that time.
Yeah, thank you again for asking. And I just want to honor this process by saying that tell the end of the story first. My daughter is doing well. She was diagnosed when she was 18 months at Children's Hospital, and we were granted a wish in that process. But she's doing well. She's actually a nurse at San Diego Children's Hospital.
So great.
It is such a wonderful
awesome
story.
news,
So sometimes I don't tell that story
and
fast
people
enough.
are just
and the
on
audience
the
is going, wait, how is she
That's
doing?
okay. Keeping them on the edge of the seat just for a little while is all right.
I'm trying to be a little bit more judicious with my stories. But yeah, thanks for asking. So what was really important about that journey is that she was actually in the hospital for 9 months. And 2 major events happened. Number one is I needed to work. I needed to do something. And as a result of that, I had just started a business. And I ended up buying a computer, portable computer, luggable at the time, so I could work in the hospital. She was in the hospital 9 months. We were there 24/7, 7 days a week, and she was not able to get out. And so as we were looking through some very difficult times in that 9 months, we needed something to hold on to. And when Make-A-Wish came to us and said, we're not sure when and where, but we want to grant you a wish. And so my wife and I at the time said, that was awesome. How do we serve you? How do we work together? And they said, well, just, when she's capable and able, we'll do that. So what ended up happening is we just looked forward to that, having some dream, some vision, and that applies to everything you do, whether it's your business, the ladies in business today, everything you need to do, you have to have something to hold on to and drive towards. So that was sustainable for us. And then the ability to meet Frank after 32 years from the time that she was diagnosed and we went on this trip, it was great. It was a huggable moment. He looked at me and he said, I love the fact that we have helped so many families and that we make a difference. And I said, well, you certainly made a difference for us.
Yeah. Yeah, he's such a humble man.
He is,
isn't he?
Yeah, it was
such
great
a humble
to meet him.
man. And we had Lorraine Tallman on our show a few months back. She also, I think, you have a copy of the magazine here. So this is Lorraine Tallman, and I'll show out here for our Facebook friends so they can see this one that just came out for our May-June issue. And she. Her daughter was diagnosed with cancer. I think I might have mentioned her to you. The reason why she's doing everything she does now for Amanda Hope Rainbow Angels is because of her daughter who passed away at 13. And she has gone as far as creating and helping the engineers create a brand new needle for the ports,
Wow.
a lead needle for the port, because she explained her story about how the children, when they are released, when their levels are at a certain point, when they come back into the hospital, they have to come back through the emergency room. So she said, the emergency room nurses aren't really, they're not trained to do these needles with the ports. And they said, you stick a child more than 8 times for a 2.5-inch needle, they won't let you touch them. And she said it's excruciating pain for them. And I just was thinking of her story and listening, and she said it's not if, it's always when the pain comes, when the depression comes, when the medical bills come, when the family is struggling. It's not an if, it's just a when. And you had to go through all of that. And her mission in life, and she felt that her daughter was sent to her as an angel to teach her these lessons and to help her now raise, over $1 million every year to send all of these presents to all of these families. They host buffets, every month in the hospital. I'm sure you know all about this and went through that.
Well, absolutely. One of the greatest parts of the connecting the dots in this story is as we had a chance to meet Frank and I shared with him, I actually started Shapeshift World to create money, sustainable money for charity. So it's the first company that I've ever been associated with, which not only just gives sort of the 10%, which is a wonderful thing for many companies that are doing that, just off the charts. But the other side of it is to actually make money when you're making money that you're just giving back and you're giving back and giving back. And so we have some things that are in the works right now that are terrific and create sustainable money for charity. Because the reality is they're the people that do the work. And we've been the beneficiary of so many wonderful things. So this journey, this 30-year journey, is about giving back and making a difference. And that's why not only am I here to serve the entrepreneurial world and the women and entrepreneurs, because there's so many people getting into that space, and we need to help serve them because not everyone's an entrepreneur, right? You need to work through that. So we have sort of 3 great things. We're helping people. We're making a difference. We're making money to give back to charity. So this is really an opportunity to serve. And for those of you who believe in these things, we're creating our own legacy to help.
That's really wonderful. One thing that I thought was very interesting was she had mentioned when you had talked about, raising the money and the funds to give back, she has her foundation split in 2 pieces. So the administrative side, they run one gala every year and they raise money at the gala and it's specific. So you would donate for the electrical bill. At the building, you would donate to pay for the psychologist's salary. So it's really great that they raise money separate for administrative costs, and then all the donations online go straight to the foundation for everything that they purchase that goes out to the families and decorating the chemo rooms. And she has it down to specifics of it's $100 and some. Here it is if you want to decorate one chemo room. And I love that because then you know exactly what your money's going to.
The ability to donate specific effectively is terrific. Yeah, there's
I
so
love
many
that.
wonderful models now that are being evolved in
Right.
the nonprofit world. So yeah, that's a great example.
And when we're going to head to break, and when we get back, I'd love for you to share with us how somebody could get in touch with you, how someone can, be part of the Shapeshift world if they wanted to work with you for their business, and
Terrific.
maybe
Thank
the
you.
areas that they would be struggling in that you would recommend that you would be a good fit for them. So we'll talk about that after
All right,
the break.
terrific.
Sound
Thank
great?
you. Sounds great.
All right. Thanks, Lorenzo.
Thank
All right,
you.
listeners, we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Hang in there. Talk to you soon.
All clear. Great job.
Okay, great. Thanks. So now we're technically on a break.
Okay.
So I just want to say hi to a few Facebook friends we have out there.
Awesome.
I got Rose joining us. We have Becky joining us. We have Kristen joining us. Gaby's joining us. Glenn, Tacey, Aaron. Want to say hi to everybody who's out there joining us today on Facebook. And we're just talking to them right now and not the podcast. So they just know that we're here for
Right,
them.
we're here for you.
And isn't Lorenzo great? We're going to put all of his contact information in the stream here and in the comments section, so you guys will all be able to reach out to him. You're fine. Am I getting some weird feedback on here? Probably because I screwed up the mic. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so this is the technical side of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you gotta
They
love
see
this.
it every week. Yeah.
Love and AJ.
Yeah.
Hey, Rod. Sorry, my bad.
Get some good smiles.
Oh yeah, coming at you, baby. Yeah, we can say smile. I can say candy. I can say other things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, I am ready to go if you are.
Okay. We're ready to come back. Let's do it.
Yep. Aaron, you still there?
Yeah, we're not.
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Just making sure.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to
yay.
be bringing you in as soon as we wrap up here with Lorenzo. Aaron, thanks.
Sounds great.
Alrighty, let's do this. Our second segment here, 16 minutes. We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Hey there, listeners. Welcome back to Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and I am joined in the studio here with my special co-host this week, Mr. Lorenzo Hickey, founder and CEO of Shapeshift World.
Yeah, got to have those titles in there. It's
Heck yeah.
cheap bottle washer too. We do it all.
Well, everyone knows at Lead Up for Women that I am not a title person at all, because I feel that we talk about lead without permission, and leading
Right.
without
Love it.
permission means you lead from anywhere you are, everywhere you are, and you don't need a hefty title to do it, because
Right.
the definition of a leader is there's somebody following you.
Right.
Doesn't mean you
Right.
just got a new job title or salary bump. So if you guys didn't hear, go back and listen in the first session, but we were talking to Lorenzo Hickey, and I wanted him to share with our audience today. He talks about how he helps businesses in a specific area, and I wanted him to share a little bit more in depth. So if any of you are listening out there and you're looking for this type of talent and someone to hire to help you with your business, that you know how to reach out to him. And so I'd like you to share a little bit about how you help companies through either the launch or in the early years of starting a business, and how you can be beneficial for them.
Yeah, terrific. So the ideal client for us is somebody who has an established business idea or concept, and they need to be kickstart or restarted or reinvention. And so they typically will need some sort of resource or resource pool. So one of our favorite business taglines is "You do what you do best, and we'll do the rest," which really means that as you're looking at the opportunity to grow into yourself, into your business, you need to have 4 questions in mind. And this is a really terrific opportunity. And a good friend of ours who we both met at the workshop, he and I are becoming great friends. And one of the things that we talk about now is, when you ask yourself questions, is this serving my soul? Is this serving my purpose? Is it making a difference? 2 is it making me money? Am I doing the right things to make money? 3 is, can somebody else do it? Right? So somebody should be doing this task, this activity. And the 4th question is, should be doing it at all? So how that plays out into our company is, if you ask yourselves those questions for those listeners, and you're saying, I'm just overburdened with things that don't make sense, that's when we need to have a conversation, because we do really literally everything. So we'll help you with media, we'll help you with Facebook, we'll help you with social media, we'll help you with websites, we'll help you with building community. We have so many resources and pools, and we have a team of people that are basically here to serve and support our clients. So the bottom line for us is we'll look at your business strategies, we'll look at your technology strategies, we'll look at your product development, and we'll simplify things so that you can make money. Because the most important thing about business is to make money to bring it home. And
Yeah, we're not doing this for just because it's a fun habit. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. When I'm doing this to make money so I can give it away, right?
Right.
But then everyone has their thing.
Yeah.
But the other thing is a good friend of mine, Suzanne Evans, says money is feedback. So one of the things that we encourage in our conversations with our clients is let's work on how do you get what you need, both in terms of feedback and in terms of compensation, and having stay focused. So really, kind of in summary, we'll have an onboarding conversation. We're very consultative in our process. And the other thing that I really like the listeners to understand is if you have a great person that does social media, if you have a great person that does websites, that's perfect, because what we're here to do is help you get unstuck. We'll help you to make a difference in how you show up. And we'll make a difference in how authentic and how you're seen and perceived in the marketplace. And those are all critical things. And you talked about leadership. Without a title, my concept of leadership without a title is authenticity sells.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we need to do.
Be yourself. Be real. We talk about that all the time. Everybody else is taken. So be authentic. And
good news, there's only one of you.
Right. Right?
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
only one of you that's
Guaranteed.
ever been, which we talk about, and only one of you that will ever be. So, well, I don't know. What other choices do you have, right?
Exactly. And there's only one Colleen. Let me tell you that. There's only one.
I'm sure my
like
husband would share that as well. Yeah. But the other thing about that, too, is, I really believe in honesty, because I feel it's really the only way to live your life. Maybe it's because I can't remember if I told a lie. So I figure the easiest way to live a life is just tell the truth.
You bet.
And then no one can catch you on anything, and you're just always authentic in everything you do, which I think it was Stephen R. Covey had said in a conference I was at once. He had said, "You cannot talk yourself out of something you behaved yourself into."
Right. Right.
So think about that. If you behave a certain way, you behave yourself into something you probably a character you don't want to be. Right?
Absolutely. If you think it, you might become it. So don't think
a little lip service isn't going to help anyone, right? So you have to behave your way back out of that, and that's a lot harder to live life. It's easier just to keep that linear line and just be you, and everyone knows what to get, no matter what situation you're in. Right.
Well, and I think probably the other thing, if you look at foreshadowing what's happening in our world and our marketplace, and authenticity, tongue tied.
The new
commerce is being authentic, right? So, or new commerce for me, new commerce is transparency.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to share with the audience is the best thing you can do is realize that as you move forward, that you tell the truth, that you're honest and integrity. Because what I was saying is collaboration, cooperation is where we're moving, which means you have to be authentic and true, and people just need to know, because they will see right through you, and so you no longer have a chance with social media to be behind anything. So really, what we focus on as a company is creating the consistency in your message, creating the consistency in your brand and how you show up in all sorts of media. But it is about being authentic, and so for those of you who are challenged or struggling with what to do and how to do it, we will just give you a conversation, because at the end of the day, we want to help you.
Sure.
And if that's all you need is that kickstart to say, hey, get online, get in purpose, getting clear about myself, that's what we're here to do.
That's great. Well, say, Lorenzo, let's tell our listeners before we wrap up how they can get in touch with you, because I want to make sure all of them can reach out to you at any time for you to have that conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we are a technology company as well, so we do technology services. So we have a texting service, so it's a really kind of fun way to do it. So if you text the word WORLD, WORLD, it can be uppercase, lowercase. The word is WORLD. So in the body of the text, you text WORLD. And the phone number, short key phone number, is 72000. So if you text WORLD to the phone number 72000, you'll be onboarded, you'll be connected, we'll get a chance to have a call. There's a chance for you to hit checkbox, what you're interested in, how can we serve you? And so it's just a really nice way to do that. And one important message that I'll tell all of you to do, and all of us, and what we do, is we don't spam you. We don't send you multiple emails. We are authentic. And so when we connect with you, there's a reason. If you're interested, great. great. If you're not interested, that's also great.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to have your listeners understand. Don't overwork your list. Just enjoy the list and nurture your people. That's
great.
how it works.
That's a great message. Thank you. And we'll have that information out there available on our Facebook feed for any of those that are on Facebook that would like to get that information out there. And then do you have a website if somebody was
So
wanted
actually,
to look up?
interestingly enough, we were just finishing up a revision of our website.
Good.
So shapeshiftworld.com is a way to reach us.
Okay.
Today, it actually goes to Facebook. So we have one of our products opportunities is to provide Facebook business pages. So you'll end up at Facebook and hear more about us, but eventually you'll get redirected to our main website.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
And
I'm
you're going to
excited to
stick
talk to you.
around
Yes,
because you're here with
absolutely.
me. So you're going to stick around for our conversation with Aaron.
Yeah,
so
I can't wait.
I wanted to tell you thank you, and you've been an awesome co-host, and I love your story, and I love your passion for what you do.
thank
and I
you.
think living in purpose just goes to show everyone how important it is because you just love your life every day, right?
Yeah, every day.
Every
get up.
day.
I'm excited every day.
So
It's really
great.
terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, can't wait to talk to Aaron.
Yeah. So, Aaron, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, girl, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm having an interesting experience watching you on Facebook Live and listening to you and getting ready to talk with you.
This is so great. That's got to be like a three-dimensional. I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone's ever
It is.
had that. That's great.
Wait,
So
we'll sell the drone over with the flyby. We'll take
Yeah.
pictures too.
that's true. I don't know if my husband's drone will quite fly that far. I'd have to ask him. I think there's limits when you cross state line or something. But Aaron, we are so glad to have you here, and I'd love for you to tell the listeners a little bit about your story because you're a third generation female entrepreneur. So you have several females in your family that have owned their own businesses, and I know that the listeners are just on the edge of their seats wanting to get to know who you are. So please.
Yeah, thanks for that. Entrepreneurs are kind of a wily bunch. We're unusual in that people want to study us. They want to understand why do people become entrepreneurs? What makes an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
And I think that my mom and my grandmother became entrepreneurs out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother was a woman who had to care for her mother, her mother-in-law, her disabled husband, and her two kids.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do in earlier mid 1900s other than start a business to produce the kind of income to take care of that many families? And my mother became an entrepreneur out of necessity with my father, and I grew up in a family-owned business in the insurance and real estate world. And when I graduated college, didn't know what I wanted to do with myself and my life. I think I can probably a lot of people can relate to that, not having a clear plan and a clear dream necessarily. I worked for my parents for a short time in their real estate business, and I thought, I could do this. You can be your own boss. You can do what you want when you want, call the shots, make as much money as you can make. I'm getting into real estate. So I had just turned 22 years old when I started my professional career right out of college as a self-employed person, and I'm just about 24 years into being an entrepreneur and have had lots of highs and lows in that journey, probably like the two of you, also entrepreneurs. And, it's never an easy, smooth ride, but it is incredibly rewarding.
Incredibly rewarding. That's absolutely correct. And you work with female entrepreneurs in your line of work, the company that you founded. So do you want to talk to the listeners a little bit about Black Dress Circle?
Sure. Yeah, I wound up focusing on women business owners. Through one of those periods of highs and lows, I had been a consultant to the home building industry, which came out of my real estate days. And when the housing industry crashed in 2007, and I made next to no money,
Right.
I knew I had to make a change. And I left home building and realized that the skill set that I had developed as a real estate agent and as a consultant to the housing industry, that those skills were transferable across any industry.
Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, I'm sure, your listeners are business people, and, you know that from a marketing perspective, you can't really come out and tell the market, hey, I can help any small business owner with any problem. You know, I'd been an entrepreneur my whole life. I'd worked with business owners. I grew up in a small, family-owned business, and these skill sets I had developed were transferable, but that didn't mean I could represent myself as someone who could work with any business and on any problem. So I segmented the market on women rather than ever being industry-specific ever again. And it's been just the best decision I have ever made to really, stake my claim to one audience of women business owners, women entrepreneurs, women leaders. And I support these women in everything from developing strategies in their business to a lot of management training and leadership training, working with my clients' team members, and supporting women in having great lives and great businesses. Because, I say, and I think the three of us would say, you can have both.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, because you want to make sure that you are creating your life, your business around your life. If you try to create your life around your business, you're really not going to be that happy anymore, right?
And now it's a hobby, and
Right.
it's not working, so you got to do something different. Yeah,
absolutely. So thank you for sharing that, and dive in a little bit with our listeners so they can understand. We've got a couple minutes before break, so talk to us a little bit about how you run these think tanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some really interesting research that shows that women business owners, particularly women who have $1 million and greater in annual revenue, that group really thrives in an environment where they are working with peers and learning from peers. So they're in a peer learning environment where they're both contributing to their group members and they are receiving contribution. And the contribution is in the form of, the shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. Really there are no shortcuts. But we can at least expedite our learning process. We can boost our confidence by being surrounded with other women who are not your clients. They are not your competitors. They have a deep understanding of you and your business and your goals and where you want to go. And, they share experience with you about, what they've done with a similar issue, let's say to an issue that you're facing, what they've done and how they've handled it and what worked and what didn't work, what they would do differently. And, we can really turn business owners into better decision makers and better problem solvers by facilitating the exchange of information and experience.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Erin. I really appreciate you sharing that. So, listeners, we're going to run to break, and you've got to come back because we have so much more we want to talk to Erin about. And I love that you're working with women that are thriving in environments that really are working with other peers. And it can be lonely, and you need a round table to be able to bounce ideas off of. I can definitely attest to that. I've been in situations where it was like I don't even know who I need to talk to right now to be able to come up with what it is. Collaborate with what I need. So everyone hang out and we will be back in just a couple of minutes. And you're listening to Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. Talk to you in a few minutes.
All clear. Great job.
All right. Thanks. Wow. So this next segment's going to run us through all the way to about the 58 mark. Is that right? 12:58 or?
Yeah, about there.
Okay. I just want to make sure I stop in time. Okay, so Erin, we're going to snag a quick photo over here with Lorenzo and I before we get going, so give me just 1 second.
She'll see it on Facebook. This is the Facebook photo.
All right, good.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Robert wants a photo so he can get out of here. That's what he's waiting on. He's like,
the truth be told.
He's like, I have all
you
this
guys are
work.
great. I got all this info. This is happy. You guys do the you. Let's. I'm going to finish my thing.
So, just want to say hi to everyone that's joining us on Facebook, and we've been on the phone with Erin. And bye, see you, hon. We're on the phone with Erin Joy, and she's been speaking to us. So we're going to get back here to the show again. You guys are getting a sneak peek because our show doesn't go live on Wednesday until 10 a.m. on the Voice America. I know. It's the whole FOMO thing, like fear of missing out. Like, oh my gosh, they're all like, she's on. Why is she on live on a Monday? What's happening? Our show airs on the Wednesday.
Yeah, we're trained. We're habitual.
And Erin, you're doing awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
so amazing.
Thank you.
So amazing. So, all right, I'm ready to come back whenever you are.
Yep, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay.
Our last and final segment here, 16 minutes. We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Hello there, listeners. Welcome back to our last segment. You are listening to Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up, and I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and I am joined here with my awesome co-host, Mr. Lorenzo Hickey.
Yep. Hi, everybody.
He is my special co-host for today. And in the first couple segments, we heard all about his story and about his business, Shapeshift World. His information will be out there on Facebook, as well as the information that you can click on the Empowerment Station on Voice America. And we've been now speaking with Erin Joy, who is the founder of Black Dress Circle. And welcome back, Erin.
Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, it's been so great to have you here. So talk to me a little bit about, as you've been running these events, now, do you only do these up in the St. Louis area, or are they all around?
Great question.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have been working primarily in the St. Louis, Missouri market for almost 9 years. And through that whole period, we have been in the background planning to license or franchise Black Dress Circle to other women in other markets. So I personally lead roundtables only here in St. Louis.
Okay.
And in 2019, later this year, and then early 2020, we'll be making that offering more public to, really, Colleen, find women like you, like me, in other markets who are probably already a business coach, already a business consultant, looking for something to add to their business model to bring even more value to their clients. And so being a Black Dress Circle facilitator will be an option to folks within the next couple of months.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, that is terrific.
Yeah, because we don't want to just have it in St. Louis if it's such a wonderful model for getting
Absolutely.
together other entrepreneurs. This is something that should spread across the nation for sure.
Right. And I think that...
Well, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Love it.
Go ahead, Lorenzo.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think the beauty of this process is the organization you've developed is about collaboration, and the ability to bring people together in a local market is where it happens, right? So to be an isolated group, it needs to spread, and so part of our message is we want to bring this to the globe, and so what you're doing is terrific, because now you take that model, it can be repeated, and you have the people, the individual and women that are heart based and are so focused on their local geography, because one of the greatest things that we all can do is support our local communities as well. So this is something that can be community based. Sure. And so I would ask you to even maybe, since we're doing previews today, we're doing secrets today, maybe you can share with us the kind of woman that you want. And clearly we're sitting right next to one of them. What would she look like? Give us the avatar of somebody you want us to lead up another city.
Great question.
Yeah, I really think, like you said, we're sitting right in front of one, or at least you are. I'm watching her on Facebook Live. But, I do think it is a woman business owner who is accomplished she has a lot of business experience. When folks are looking for a business advisor, it is so critical that they are pulling the right people to them, because the advisors can make or break, make all the difference in how they guide their clients. So our ideal avatar for Black Dress Circle facilitator in another city is a woman who has business acumen, has business experience, either has an existing book of business with women business owners as her coaching and consulting clients, or wants to focus on that audience. So we see it as either women who would want to use Black Dress Circle to go deeper in positioning themselves as the go-to expert in their market for serving women business owners and female entrepreneurs, or they have some kind of business experience acumen. Maybe they've sold a business recently and they were a woman running a company, not quite ready to retire, wants to do something to share her knowledge and experience, and would facilitate black dress circles in her market to make that happen.
Yeah.
Wow. And
That's
I
a
can-
lot about giving back.
I know, and
see
I can
it.
already think of
Yeah.
many women here in
Yeah.
town that are that exact same space. And I love that you brought that up because, Erin, one of the greatest things that we can do is serve the people that have served themselves in other
Yeah.
companies. So that is a great opportunity to really help people give back
Yeah.
by their knowledge. And that wisdom, which comes with age.
I was just going to say, it's like Lorenzo's in my mind right now.
We have skills. We have some skills over here. It's one of the reasons
We
I'm
have
here.
some wisdom, yes.
But anyway, so thanks for sharing. I think the follow-up question I want to ask you, and this is maybe putting you on the spot, and I apologize for doing this virtually.
Sorry,
but-
you can always opt out,
Yeah,
Aaron. You don't have to
exactly.
answer it.
But just there are so many organizations out there. There's so many networking organizations out there, and I'm involved in a lot of them.
Yeah.
But very few, and I know one of them. My partner's involved in one. But what makes a difference? What do you think is going to make
Yeah.
a difference for the local market? And I have some ideas, but I want to ask you what do you think makes a difference for this group in a local market compared to the others?
So what
Other
sets
networking.
Black Dress Circle
Yeah,
apart?
what sets you apart?
Yeah.
Besides black dresses,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Well, I think
had to.
every business owner has to be ready to answer that question when we
Yeah.
think about our own companies and you think
Yeah.
about what you do differently. I think that, being able to position your company in a way that gives you a competitive advantage is really, really critical. And so one of the first things I would share is that with our company, with Black Dress Circle, we don't have any competitors at our round tables. We don't have any clients at our round tables. Our round tables are professionally facilitated by trained facilitators, and it's women only. So there are roundtable programs all over the country and all over the world. And from the market research that we have done, I think every business owner needs to be doing competitive analysis. We've carved out a unique position, which is what all of our jobs is, right? Is to carve out a unique position that really exploits a gap in the marketplace and says, yes, there's a company A that offers, their offering and company B and company C and so on. But there's a hole right here. And so we know that there is a hole. There's a gap in the market where there are women who are underserved. They don't want to be in a round table that has 90% men, 10% females. They want to
that's
be
called
with
corporate
other
America.
women.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's called real estate back when you said you were 22, right?
Yeah,
Seriously.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's also what makes you so refined in your process too, though, Erin, because you've had to struggle through some of those things.
Yeah.
and it's real. I mean, we can't avoid the obvious, right? So, but keep sharing because I have
Yeah.
I have a follow up comment in a
Yeah,
second.
you're doing awesome. Sorry we interrupted.
Keep going.
Well,
Erin,
gosh, I think that we can all take a page out of that book of being really clear about our competitive positioning, and we find that out by doing deep competitor analysis and determining where is the hole, how do we want to fill it, and we have a very clear vision of where that market opportunity is. And we know some things that we are modeling after some of the other companies in the world, and we know some things that we're doing exactly opposite of some of those companies, because for those companies it's a weakness and maybe how they're doing something, and we're going to turn around and do the opposite and turn it into a strength for us. And that kind of information you can only get by doing deep competitive analysis fairly regularly. And, we all know how quickly the business context that we're operating in is changing. It is changing so fast.
Absolutely.
And so we've got to keep our finger on the pulse of the marketplace so that we can jump and be proactive and frankly exploit opportunities. I say that in the most productive way possible, but that is what we want to do. We want to take market opportunities and leverage them.
Absolutely.
perfect.
It's okay if they're opportunities.
Yeah,
and exploit
absolutely.
the heck out of them, right?
So I'm going to take
That's
just
right.
a moment
Yeah, go ahead,
to
Lorenzo.
honor Erin and say two things. One is that your powerful statement is because you're very clear on what you do. And for the listeners out there that are struggling and unsure of how to move forward, that's part of the messaging today. If you're very clear, see how it comes across?
Yeah.
And Erin did a fabulous job of doing that.
Yeah, everyone knows exactly where she stands, what
and
she
and I love the little
does,
attitude
why
about
she
like,
does
I know
it.
what I'm doing. I should be prepared for that. Love it, love it, love it. But for those listeners, that's part of the journey. And that's one of the reasons I think the Black Dress Circle will help in the local communities, is create clarity in that collaboration, in that conversation. So that's a wonderful tip for those who are listening and someone's coming to your area. Think of somebody to talk to. Reach out to Erin. I know that's going to happen later. But what a great, great segment for you.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thanks, Erin. So if
Thank you.
I know you said it's later in 2019 and in 2020, but let's just say one of the listeners now are like, oh, that's an element I really want to add to the coaching that I do. And I have so many women that maybe they get together for retreats, but they'd love to be able to understand how to get a facilitated, think tank together and roundtables. How would they go about reaching out to your company to get started on at least gaining the information now? Before it's available. Yeah,
the best way to get a hold of us is really through Facebook. I'm like you, Colleen. I love Facebook. Here you are again. You're on Facebook Live right in front of me. And I'm a big fan on Facebook. So Erin Joy Black Dress Circle is my business page that I monitor really, really regularly and would love to talk with anybody there. And, we're moving into our beta phase next in September, actually, with some women business owners who are going to be facilitating Black Dress Circles in their market. And so, we are starting to work out all of those kinks to, know what we've got to handle before we scale at the national level.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm glad that you're doing the testing
Absolutely.
now, right? So that it's not that you just like rush and get it out to the market and then try and start debugging all the issues once the licenses
No,
are
that's
all
not our
sold.
style.
Yeah, I love it.
Not
I
our
love
style. Like I said, we've been working for almost 9 years, just behind. Well, I shouldn't say 9 years. My company's almost 9 years old, but we've been facilitating these roundtables for 7 years. And when I concepted the entrepreneur roundtables for women business owners, I knew we wanted to share it with women throughout the nation, and so we've been thinking and strategizing and planning and building our documents and building our systems and storing all of our information in a way that we can, share it and get it out into the world. So it's many, many years coming, and I think that's what we all want to be doing as business owners, right? We want to have that clarity that Lorenzo's talking about, and then great people around us helping us refine our strategy and then executing with us.
Absolutely. And I wanted to just tell our listeners, I know Erin is a little humble in some areas, but Black Dress Circle has been recognized several years in a row as a top consulting firm in St. Louis area. And Erin was designated as one of the top 100, I'm going to say this wrong, St. Louisians. Did I say that?
St. Louisans.
St. Louisans. I knew it.
Like Lewis and Clark.
It's like when I say Norfolk and people are like, it's Norfolk. I'm like, it has a R. I always struggle with that. And I do apologize to anyone from Louisiana, just so you guys all know. But that was, in 2016. So congratulations on the awards that you've won.
That's
you deserve
terrific.
every single one of them. I can tell you that for sure.
Thank you.
And
Having a great marketing company is absolutely critical to business success as an entrepreneur. We've got to have people on our team who are helping us position ourselves in the market and really helping us toot our own horn. Because that's, we can only do so much as one person, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And please feel free to share with our listeners if there's any companies that you work with that are amazing companies that if you want to give them a shout out right now, you certainly can.
Oh, that's so that's part of your model, isn't it? Letting, just speaking up to lead up.
It is.
And Colleen's the company that introduced us is Arco and Associates. It's helmed by Andrea Arco and Jillian Hausman here in St. Louis. They are headquartered here, but they work with clients nationally. And I, don't make hardly any business moves in my business from a strategy perspective, certainly from a marketing perspective, without the stamp of approval and typically, the critical thinking thought partnership that I have with Andrea Arco and Jillian Hausman. They're behind everything that we do here at Black Dress Circle.
Yeah, we had the opportunity and are so grateful that Andrea was one of our spotlights on a Thrive Thursday that we did, and I knew that you worked with that company, and I wanted to make sure that we had their information out there because they are awesome, and all of you have just been wonderful to work with. And whenever there's a great company out there, it's I want this platform for your voice to be heard, for the companies to be
Absolutely.
marketed
Terrific.
because it's great for when there's great companies out there. We want to work with them.
Right.
Right. We
You-
want to work.
Yeah, they're
You have to be seen.
they're amazing. I want
Yeah.
I want to quickly give their
Go
website
ahead.
is arcoandassociates.com. arcoandassociates.com. They're building our new website, so soon, and by soon I mean in August, you'll be able to go to blackdresscircle.com and see a beautiful work of art that Arco created for us.
That's great. Thank you so much. Well, Erin, she's going to be at our Columbus, Ohio. Now that you guys have a little taste of her, you can get your tickets and register. I'm sure we'll have a couple more left for the luncheon that's on Thursday. So feel free to go out there and snag your tickets. You can go to leadupforwomen.com/events and snag your ticket for that. And then you can get to meet Erin in person. And obviously for any of our members out there, because we are membership based, for any of our members out there, you will be able to see the luncheon on the videos. We have several book nooks and a lot of library resources and videos available, educational tools available for our members. So we welcome all of you that are listening to go over to leadupforwomen.com/membership to become a member. So
That's terrific.
all right. Well, Erin, I want to thank you. I can't wait to meet you this week, and you and I will touch base after today's show. But I just want to thank you so much for being here today. Thank Lorenzo for being here today with us as well. It's been a wonderful show, so much knowledge for our listeners, and thank you so much for joining us again in Columbus.
Yeah.
So
It's a pleasure, Aaron. Thank you.
Yeah.
And kudos to you with what you're doing. You are speaking up to lead up, and you're creating the space for so many women to step into that. So thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys are so wonderful. I appreciate that. Well, I wanted to share with our listeners to not miss next week's show, because I am going to bring a special co-host in with me. Her name's Kira Polson. She lives here in Arizona where I live, and she's an intuitive, energetic healer and the creator of the Awaken program. So it's going to be a great show to listen to, so much that we're going to have. We're also going to have Jen Duplessis, the founder of Kinetic Spark Consulting,
nice. Yeah.
which Lorenzo met Jen as
Yes,
well.
absolutely.
And she's an international speaker, travels around, and we're also going to have Dr. Patricia Bagsby, who is the Vice President of Organizational Consulting at Psychological Associates. She's going to be our speaker at our Nashville luncheon, and so I'm really excited to have her there. She joined them as a member of Lead Up for Women and is going to be also hosting, I believe, our September webinar. She's going to be hosting that one.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And
Rocking it.
our next month, August webinar, just to let our listeners know before we go, is going to be held on a Tuesday. We're going to get those invitations out, and we're going to have Dr. Lori Monaco. She was
nice.
our guest panelist at our Boston luncheon. So much from our members that you get to hear, but that's another way for our members to give back, is to host a webinar once a month. So it's awesome. We
it
have
is
so many.
terrific.
Yeah. So as Lorenzo and I spoke earlier, remember that you are the only you that has ever been. You are the only you that will ever be. So how you pioneer your future is up to you. So